That was Prey. Well, what did you guys think?
It was alright. I mean, I didn't dislike it.
See?
No,
Yeah.
wasn't a bad
terrible.
movie.
I agree.
No.
I don't hate it, but
Wasn't really your cup of tea, though.
Agreed.
I mean, you're not a big fan of that kind of movie anyway, right?
right. I think I would even enjoy the 90s nostalgia or 80s nostalgia one better.
Yeah.
But this was a good take on it.
Oh, it wasn't bad. It was interesting to see the Predator fight some of North America's giants. I wouldn't mind seeing the Predator fight like a rhino or an elephant or something like that in Africa and have like an African version. I think that would be interesting. Like Shaka Zulu versus the Predator.
Even though this was like,
Oh, that would be cool.
Zulu.
even though this was like a girl power movie or whatever, this was like a natural. It was like it felt organic mostly. Some of it didn't feel it, but I just still don't like the way that her bravery was portrayed. Like it was kind of portrayed as like flee and then get everybody hurt or in danger and then be upset and continue that path until eventually you're pretty much the last one and you have to kill it, you know?
Yeah, almost like she just survived long enough to come out on top.
A little bit. I wish if there was going to be a girl power movie, I wish she'd just had like, you know, I don't know.
Well, see,
But it was good.
what do you think, Black Boy?
I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with what Cole said. I think it was, I don't know, done okay. I don't agree with some of the certain things that can, like, how was she okay after she was pretty near invisible after she ate that shit, and then the other guy, Predator, was like leery about him because of the blood trail, like.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think it
follow
was
the
more
blood trail.
more so his reaction when the predator stepped on him.
Oh,
Okay.
You know, when the predator was stepping on him to move forward,
What'd he do?
he like went oh like that because he stepped right on his stomach or something.
and with that, I thought it was weird that the Predator looked at her like she wasn't a threat when she was caught in like the bear trap, but that dude who was missing a leg, who the Predator thought was, you know, basically dead according to his
True.
heat-seeking scan thing. He still killed that guy, but he didn't kill her when she was just caught in the bear trap.
So is the predator a
So,
robot or a alien?
Oh, he's an alien. Yep. Real big, muscular alien, kind of with a
Yeah, I guess I've seen it, but
almost like a lamprey type of.
He doesn't look like the original alien did without
No.
the face.
No, it doesn't look like the original alien did in Predator.
Or not the original alien, but yeah, the Predator.
Yeah, Predator. Well, I know what you mean. It's hard when you're talking about aliens and Predator because the Predator is an alien, but it's so close with the Alien franchise because they have crossed over that if you say alien when you're talking about the Predator, and then, oh my, and with the Predator, I would always call the movie Predator. Oh, I'm a big fan of the Predator. But a few years ago, they made a movie called The Predator, and the original movie is called Predator. So I have to be careful when I'm talking about which movie I like, because if I say to somebody who's like really close with the franchise, I like, or familiar with the franchise, I like The Predator. And it's like, oh, really? You do? Oh, it was a terrible movie. So,
Yeah, I tried to remake
that's
it.
crazy.
And they used that goofy guy, that big nose. what's his name?
yeah, I can't remember his name.
He's in the
It
movie
was a
like
silly
The
movie. They tried to make like autism superpower or something like that. Nah, it was It was really weird. This is a really weird movie.
Yeah. It's bad.
It was pretty bad. So on a, let's say, on a scale of 1 to 10 for how well the movie was, aesthetically, objectively, how much the story made sense, and then scale of 1 to 10, how much you enjoyed it, and rewatchability. You know, kind of like what we usually do.
Who's first?
You want to go first, Trev?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Doc Boy's going first with his
For-
scale of 1 to 10.
First, just as in a whole.
Yeah.
Now, well, it's 1 to 10 how well like constructed the movie was, how
Okay,
well
so
you.
scale 1 to 10 about storyline. Storyline, I'd give it like a 4 because it doesn't touch base with a lot of stuff. Kind of leaves a lot of things empty. Like, you know, it's like, well, why was that person out? You know, I don't know. It's just like certain things. You know, there's a lot of areas that need filled, I feel. So, I didn't think the graphics were very good, but they weren't terrible. I've seen worse in newer movies. So watchability, though, I'd give it like a 7. I think it was good. It was okay. I mean, some of the fighting scenes were cool. So overall, I'd probably give it like a watchability rate like 7.5.
7.5. So if it was you were watching like the Steelers play at 11 and the game got over at what, like 4, or how long do football games last?
They're
4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, about 3 hours, 3.5.
Oh.
So
Yeah, it's like noon to 1 to 4.
okay,
That was
so that got over, and then you had a game to watch at 7 o'clock, and The Predator was on in between games, or excuse me, Prey was on in between games. You'd watch it.
I didn't have to change the channel, like it was just coming
Yeah,
on.
yeah. It was just okay. I was watching one football game, and then we're gonna watch Prey.
Like
and
I had
then-
to search
Like a
it.
connector movie.
Yeah, so it'd just be like a filler. So it's like, you know, we're going to a game,
Yeah.
and then like so, Predator's coming or Prey comes on right after the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
watching the
I
game,
didn't
and
have
then
to-
Prey comes
yeah.
on, and then there's another game on after that.
Oh yeah, I could sit there and watch it, and I wouldn't have to change the channel and watch what I was going to watch right afterwards. Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Oh, one thing that I did want to mention was you haven't seen the second movie, have you, Nick? Okay. In Predator 2, at the end, the aliens, the Predators,
They shoot off a bunch.
they give Danny Glover a flintlock musket handgun, and it's that handgun that she was using.
Oh.
Yeah, which makes you kind of wonder
Tilly.
No.
how did
They get it.
how did the Predators get it if she had it and that Predator died? So it leaves you wondering. I mean, you're gonna have to answer some questions, Hulu.
Alberta
You're
government.
gonna have
It
to
was
answer
filmed
some
in Canada.
questions. Yeah. That's what I was saying. I was pretty sure that
We've been
Amber
to Alberta.
Midthunder is a Canadian Indian,
Alberta.
because that movie, The Ice Road, that was a Canadian movie as well, I believe, or at least it took place in Canada, and I kind of thought it was Canadian.
So for mine, so I'll do yours last, Garrett. Overall, I'm gonna give the movie, for me personally, I will give it. I'll just say this outright. This isn't my genre per se, so I'm gonna give it a 6 because I thought actually aesthetically speaking, I thought it was pretty pleasing, and I liked the graphics, and I thought the set, well, I wish it had been a little bit lighter. Like, I get that there was like a dim and dark scene, and sets are supposed to be dark sometimes and stuff, but I get irritated trying to like squint at shit. So I wish it would have been a little lighter, but I really liked the scenery in Canada wherever they did it. I really liked that, and I liked the Indians, the way they looked and stuff. I thought that was cool. So, the story sucked to me. The action was fun. The scenes individually were fun to watch. Like, this would have been a perfect movie for me to just be on my phone, being like, oh, sweet.
Look up every now and then.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah.
And that's what I do.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's just like that. And that's like, I'm okay with that. And it's good with for me. And I'm sorry that it irritates probably Trav. But, like, that would have been a good movie for me to watch. Because I'd have got the highlights of the scenes that were, like, worth me watching.
No, see,
Kinda
that's
like
why
the
I like
murder
watching
shows.
movies with you, because Doc Boy and I, we'll sit down and we'll watch a movie, and I'll watch it, I don't know, maybe in like a different, more analytical way, and then he watches it as, is this going to entertain me? And then you have that, I am watching this because I need to be watching it right now, and I'm not going to try to look at my phone, but I really want to.
And I've got some
that's-
shit I could do
so
right now on my
you have
laptop.
that, you have that third perspective.
I mean, like, if I really get into something, I get into it. But it's really got to be...
Oh yeah,
It's got to be up my alley. Remember when we used to watch shows? Who was that girl?
I know.
When we used to
I
binge
remember
shows?
that.
iZombie.
Yeah,
All of them.
iZombie
long naps.
and Game of Thrones and Walking Dead and what was one of the other ones?
Oh my gosh. So many shows. Flash.
Oh yeah,
I watched
that
Flash
was
with
it.
you.
You did watch Flash with us for the first couple of seasons, and then
Yeah.
I think it was after like
We watched
season
some
like 3
Arrows.
or 4.
Arrow.
Yeah, Arrow was
We watched
pretty entertaining for the
Golden
first few
Fist,
seasons as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Daredevil.
Yeah.
Daredevil, you know.
I like
Daredevil
that
still
one.
holds up though.
Yeah,
I
that's a good
rewatched some
one.
Daredevil and I was like, it holds
Still
up.
a good show.
It was good.
But,
Oh, and then
to go on, what
Game
what
of
else?
Thrones.
Yeah. What else were we rating on?
Oh, rewatchability
Oh, that's
and
a-
how
that's,
much you just kind of enjoyed it.
if somebody had it on in the background, I'm not gonna like tell them to change it. I'm not like pissed off that they had it on the television, but I am absolutely not gonna choose it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if it's out of 3 shows and one is like football and the other is kids shows, maybe I'd choose
Damn.
it, but
Yeah.
I'd probably watch football.
that's not great rewatchability for me.
Oh, okay.
Unless you have it in the background in here, Garrett.
Yeah, which is a possibility.
But I could
Still yet
definitely
to get my
appreciate
review, so.
I can appreciate the love, sweat, and tears that went into that movie because I know a lot of all 3 of them things did. So it's just not my thing, but it was good.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
As for myself, I would probably rate it because of some of the story stuff and some of the Memorabilia things, and takes away some points. But like what Nick said, the aesthetics of it, I thought that the Indians looked realistic. I don't know if they wear war paint all the time. I wore mine tonight in solidarity with them. But
They were in distress.
but the whole like the village looked realistic.
Yeah.
You could tell that they had to have filmed on location for a lot of that because it didn't all look CG. And I don't have a problem with things looking CGI. And like I said at the beginning, it kind of reminded me of like a made-for-TV type of movie. And with that, I'm not expecting like, like in The Edge with the bear, right? I'm not expecting the actual bear to be on set and doing all of that. No, I thought maybe like the rattlesnake thing, they would be able to afford that, but for that, I probably would rate it around like a maybe like a 4. I think for now a lot of that 4 that's all the filming and the location and like I said, like the aesthetics, like the costumes, like the Indians did you notice like the Indians looked like I don't want to say like really clean, but their outfits didn't look dirty. Now the Frenchmen, they looked,
Filthy.
they looked like they had been out in like the wilderness.
Right.
It's all a 4 for the costumes, for the acting, all of that. It's solid. But for rewatchability and how much I enjoyed it, give it a 6. And we've done, quite a few movies together, and I don't think I've rated anything above like a 5 ever. So I'd give it a 6.
Yeah. Can I throw something in on your review?
Yeah.
You right there? So it just occurred to me when you were saying about how the Indians were kind of cleanly looking, and then the Europeans or the Frenchmen were looking very dirty, rightfully so in this scenario, this specific scenario.
Yeah, they're out on the plains hunting and trapping.
They could have done that on purpose for, in a sense, cultural appropriation for back then. They didn't want to show the Indians in a bad light. They wanted to show them in a good light because of them being taken advantage of because of the time era of what was happening to them. You know what I mean? Maybe that was on purpose.
I wouldn't put it past them.
It made the Europeans look dirty and
grungy to make them look extra terrible, and which they are.
But to be fair, they were French.
I keep saying, we keep saying the wrong.
No. Well, you were saying Europeans, and that's accurate. So.
Oh. No, it just occurred to me when you said that. I was like, oh, yeah, he's right. Yeah, they were quite clean. All their leathers and stuff were very consistent.
Yeah, they look great. It reminded me of when we would like go to like the Indian festival and stuff, and you would see Indians, like what they would wear, when they're on show. So. Can
I just say too, is this actress here, that girl, Thornberry?
Amber Midthunder.
Quite the name.
Yeah.
She looks I've said it a few times. She looks a lot like the girl from Parks and Rec.
Aubrey Plaza.
And I love Audrey, but her character always irritated me on Parks and Rec because she pretty much just stares at people. It's kind of just like her acting.
She's got like a deadpan humor.
Yeah, and like it's dead eyes. Like she's got like the dead fish eyes, but they're dark.
Yeah.
I love her, but it also like irritates the hell out of me. Like I'm like,
So you were projecting Aubrey Plaza
But that's all she did, too. Yeah. That's all she did, too. She did the dead eye stare. She was like...
Yeah, she just watched everything go down.
The whole time. Like, is this just a way of acting now? But it's just probably me doing that with... But it's not that I don't like her. It's just...
I definitely see that.
Yeah. But I'm like, why are you doing it?
I guess if you guys want to wrap up, we can wrap up.
Yeah. But if you have the Hulu app, definitely worth a watch. Yeah. Especially if you love it like you love it in the 80s. If I would have watched this when I was a kid, I'm sorry, not this, but watched the first one when I was a kid, I probably would have thought this was super sick.
Yeah.
Did somebody reach out to Jacob and tell him this exists?
Yeah.
Good.
Jacob, go ahead and watch Prey. It's pretty good. Oh, Doc, how would you rank this out of the Predator movies that you've seen?
Probably 3.
That's what I'd say too. I like the first one, and I love the first one. I like the second one, and out of the sequels that I've seen,
yeah,
I enjoyed this one more than any of the other ones.
That makes me happy for you Predator fans. It does.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was better. It was more interesting than some of the other takes on it. So.
See, that's I feel like this is how I'm gonna feel with Jurassic World. Like I'm just not giving up, baby. I'm just not giving in. Well, I know I saw that.
They'll
scene.
Make a good Jurassic World movie one day.
And these ones, no, I'm not giving up on. I'm not giving up on Jurassic World, and I'm not giving up on Chris Pratt. It's just not gonna happen today.
You can't give up.
I gotta watch him, and I gotta.
Remember when we went to go see the Batman movie, in theaters. And they had the Jurassic World movie coming up, and they were showing, like, all the old actors were going to be in this one. I was like, I remember told Cole, I'm like, oh, I'm really excited to see that. I bet that's going to be really good. And you're like, Garrett's always like, no, it won't be. And then
that actually did happen. You both were on each side of me, and I was like, oh, gosh.
So this is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense. It was,
So,
but
because I watched that like 2 weeks ago.
something
Yeah, I
like
watched
that.
it like 2 weeks ago, and
Disappointing. Well, Cole, yeah, it's like you
Not
with that
good.
is people like that, like Star Wars, that he's got to deal
oh
with. You know?
yeah, I have to.
The
Not giving up.
constant crap they keep making, and the
Not
virtue
giving up.
signaling they put in
It's
them
been a
now.
minute.
But you're really
Knock on
done
wood.
because you got Disney
Yeah.
owning Star Wars now.
Yeah, with Disney having Star Wars, it's just kind of like, But, I mean, George Lucas almost killed it, too. I mean, there's like 3 really good movies, and then 3 okay-ish movies, and then 3 really bad movies, and then 2 movies that kind of float off to the side. And one of them lost money and is garbage and is called Solo. And the other one is Rogue One that has a really awesome, probably the best awesome Darth Vader scene ever. I saw Rogue One 3 times in theaters just to rewatch that hallway scene with Darth Vader at the
He
end.
just comes in and fucks
Yeah,
everybody up.
Yeah, he just destroys everything.
have it on YouTube?
I fanboyed over that
Is
movie.
it on YouTube?
He probably is, and I probably could have saved a lot of money, but there was just something about seeing
You
it
should
in
try
the
to.
movie
You should look
theaters.
it up real quick. See if it's there.
Any say it can say did it.
probably
Real
is.
quick,
No,
let's
I
do
don't
it.
want it. We don't.
Travis,
we
you
don't
put
need
him on
to.
the spot.
Well,
Damn.
yeah, I mean, he's right there.
Go look up, man.
Just-
It's just right there. I mean, you have the capabilities.
Darth Vader hallway scene from Rogue One. Vader just
I've
comes
watched
in.
this scene.
Oh, it's a great scene. It's just a
I
dark
might have watched
hallway.
this movie.
It's terrifying. You just hear him breathing, and then he ignites that lightsaber. Oh. And he acts the way that you wanted Vader, or at least like pretended Vader would act, from the originals. Because we watched the originals, and then the prequels came out, so you saw how they fought in the prequels, and you wanted to see Vader fight that way too. And so, definite member berries. Oh, look at that. Just straight through him, straight through the door. Just that whole close quarters is terrifying.
I got a cool Darth Vader doll for Christmas one year.
Oh, Weston plays with it when he goes up north. It's so old, Nick, that the uniform is like sloughing off. Like the shiny parts of the uniform, like they had like this.
It's like pleather.
Yeah, it was like pleather or something. It was like this veneer on this nylon Ken doll uniform, and it just is sloughing off. So whenever he plays with it, it'll just leave black stuff all over.
Alright, yeah, that was cool.
That is a good scene.
Yeah, I know, right? And that is the best Star Wars that I've watched in theaters in my lifetime. Is that 2 minutes and
What about Darth Maul
30
one?
seconds? I was so disappointed
You thought
in the
Darth
prequels.
Maul was
Yeah.
I like that comparison though.
I remember the hype behind the prequels, and it was on like soda cans, and they had like the soda can contest thing, and like the merchandise was everywhere. I remember I would leave because I was in junior high, and I would walk home, and I'd pass the drugstore, and I'd stop in, and I would buy Pez dispensers once a week because I would save like some of my lunch money, and once a week I'd buy a Pez dispenser, and it was like a prequels character. So I have like all the prequels character Pez dispensers.
Nice.
Yeah. Unless Dad threw them away, because Dad threw away a lot of our memorabilia because he doesn't appreciate memorabilia the way that we do.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom didn't know about that.
Yeah, Ma
Yeah,
wasn't too
real
happy
stuff.
about that. But as for Prey, I enjoyed it. I give it a 6 for rewatchability, and Doc Boy gave it a
I said 7.5. I watched it.
7.5, and Nick
For me, a 4
4.
for rewatchability.
Yeah, so not bad. And the movie overall, we all scored it kind of low. I gave it a 4. I mean, for like the aesthetic. Oh, you gave it a 6?
Yeah, for overall, because I can definitely see how somebody else can appreciate it more than I.
Yeah. And what did you give it?
For overall,
Yeah.
7.5.
Oh, for rewatchability, you gave it a 7.5. Or did you give it a 7.5?
Overall, no storyline. I gave it a 4.
Oh, 4. Okay. Well, anyway, we are a reoccurring disappointment, and I am the provocateur extraordinaire. And Nick, you want to shout your socials?
My Instagram, you can find me at Nichols Gulfside 92.
Doc Boy, you want to?
I'm Doc Boy.
Doc Boy is Doc Boy, and I can be found on Twitter at host provocateur. So goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.